Well, did you ever think about how many different religions, organized religions there are? Do you ever wonder about that? It's a good thing to think about. For one thing, according to surveys, there's over 3,000 different religions in the world today. And of those, 2,800 of them are Christian. How did it all start? What started it? Some people say, well, it started with Jesus. No, it didn't. Jesus didn't even want anything started with his name. He said, I didn't come to change the law. I came to fulfill it. What he meant by that was that he came to get us back on the path. We had got away from it. We were being run by a hierarchy of church and politics all mixed together. Well, other people say, well, it started with the Catholic Church. They're the oldest and they're the right ones. Well, they are the oldest. Old bloodthirsty emperor by the name of Constantine started that, killed his own wife down the road, they say. Another thing is that he had a group of about 20 men come together to pick all the various books that were written to put them into a Bible. Sure did. And of course, they had an education. They were the educated group, but their education equaled about a 6th grade education today. But they picked and they chose and they got together. And then the rest of the Christian religion started up for one reason or another. For instance, Luther started the Lutheran Church because he got mad at the Pope. Not Constantine, he was down the line. But he got mad because he was being punished for something or other and didn't like the punishment. And he said, well, wait a minute, we'll just start a different church. And that was kind of like the beginning of the Protestant group. Then there's the Methodists, and there's the Presbyterians, and the Baptists, and I can go on. And the Episcopalians, oh, I forgot those. They were almost like Catholics, right? I don't want to forget any of them, and I'm not going to name all of them, but I am going to cover some of them. For instance, down the road, I'm going to talk about the Jehovah's Witnesses. Remember those? You want to learn about that? There's a book called 30 Years a Watchtower Slave that I highly recommend for everybody. But the thing about it is it was started by a young boy. Another religion is the LDS, Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, started by a man, of course, and he, of course, had a magical salamander that helped him find the golden plates that he had interpreted. The nice thing or interesting thing about that is he interpreted that in just a few days. He had 5 scribes, 5 women, writing it down as he dictated it from memory, just out of the blue there. Another one is the Muslims, the Islam religion. That old boy, he was shrewd. Yes, he was. Old Muhammad. Why, he was, first of all, he was a salesman. He married a very rich widow. That widow supported him in all of his travels, and he studied all the religions everywhere, and he came back to his part of the country. He wanted to save them. He really did. They were a warlike group. Still are, aren't they? But anyway, he thought about putting that religion in with the politics. He could kind of cool things down and make it a better society. Well, we know how that's going, don't we? I'm going to cover all these in the next few weeks, and I'm going to tell you about how they all started and what got them going and how they're gone, what they're doing, and we'll learn. But when you come right down to it, we've all been taught one thing or another, and we've believed it. And that's where the problem starts. Belief is loaded with doubt. I want you to know. And today, you can investigate anything and everything on the internet. It's so easy. You Google it, you get on there, you type in a thing, and it'll give you more information than you really want to know. So I'm asking you not to take my word for anything. I'm asking you to look into things for yourself and make your own decisions. And that's what God wanted. That's what Jesus wanted. But the key to Jesus is, he said, it's the Father within that doeth the works. God within. He didn't claim to be God. He didn't claim to be anything he wasn't. We are all the sons of God. And with that, I want to thank you for letting me share a little of the little that I know with you today. Hang in there, because we're going to have some really interesting discussions.